Uh-huh.
How'd you meet Grandma, your first wife, Ida Mae?
Well, it was way back when I was about 17 years. Um, there was a fellow lived up the road about a half a mile. That was kind of a buddy. We kind of work, do things together. And he got a girl over in Cumberland County, back over about 4 miles back this way. And he invited me to this Ida Mae was her name. And her name was a Williams girl. He never even married the girl, but he, anyway, her girlfriend knew my wife, Ida Mae. And he got me meet her, you know. That was just before I went in the Army. She was still in high school. And it was a month after I turned 18. I don't know if I had actually ever went out on her with a date by myself or not. I might have, I'm not sure. Seemed like I did maybe once or maybe twice. And I decided to join the Army. And then another buddy had signed. And we decided and agreed that we would work to each other. Letters.
Write each other letters.
Write each other. And that lasted until we got married. About 3 years later. And when I was in the service in Guam, about 15 months, and we kept up with each other, writing each other regular. And she did some dating with some other fellas too, while we were writing each other. But when I come home, the rest of them knew they had to leave her alone. And about 6 months before I got discharged, that's when we got married. And she's still in high school. We got married and went on back to Guam to El Paso. Fort Bliss was the name of the outfit. And we got married, and I went back out there, and we decided that we'd have to wait until she graduated. And so when she graduated, I was on hand and got home. I knew when she'd be discharged and all that, and so I was home at that time, you know, and we took her. She went with me then back to Guam, or back to El Paso. We lived in an apartment then, and that was. Let's see, we got married March 19th, and she graduated from high school without breaking that up, you know. And when she got out of discharge, or got out of school, I was home and took her back with me to El Paso. I got discharged at September 8th, 1951. And then I came on home. She with me then as a wife. And it was tough for a little bit. We lived with the parents a little bit, and lived in an old bad house there for a little bit through one winter. And Got my job though, and my daddy built a little four room building that we made a house with. And on over around the around the first of the 60s, 1960s. Doing pretty good, and I decided to build a house together, and that's what we built, that house there. We did a little bit of working with it. And you see yonder where the brick joins.
Yeah.
All that on the left side was open at first, and several years ago we built it. We put it back together, put that together, make a utility room inside with it. So we worked together, and I was satisfied with all that, and she was too. I don't understand, a lot of people won't take that kind of a living style like we did. So part-time it was kind of too. For the first few years I didn't do great things with Sears, but as I had worked by the time I worked about 20 years there, I got some high quality paid prices. I think I was doing pretty good then. So had a good life, 2 good wives. Right to me, my first wife, she got cancer, the kind that they couldn't do anything with it. But I honestly can say that we certainly 100% loved each other from start to finish. I can say that.
What are some things you remember about her? Did she do anything that you just always remember?
Well, it took us about 2-3 years to having children. We were ready for children as soon as we got married and settled down, but it didn't come. Getting married don't come instant every time. But we worked at it a couple of years before having children. And she didn't get a job at first. We decided, well, we may as well go get a job. We're not getting any children. So she got a job. And pretty soon after she got a job, she got pregnant. Sometimes you want children and it don't come. But it didn't come for us. We had 4 children. And Douglas, you remember him, don't you?
I never met him.
Oh, that's right. You won't live in. You weren't born when he died. Fine boy. Sometimes I think in rearing our children up, especially the boys. I think I was almost like too hard on them. But I don't know. They both of them joined the army when they got old now. Douglas. Another boy. Named Douglas. And he had him a girlfriend. They decided they won't get married, and so they got married. But he hadn't quite achieved the things in life that he wanted. He wanted to get a motorcycle. He was in the army now when they got married. As a matter of fact, the girl he married, they dated. And at one point she came and told his mama, that his girlfriend was expecting. I think that's the way it was. And she just knew that it was going to tear us all to pieces, especially me. But we were eating supper one day, and he was in the Air Force, not the Air Force, in the Army. But he was sitting at the table to eat. And you could tell he was loaded heavily on his mind with the situation. We eating, I could see it was trouble. And I said, Duke, let's walk out a little bit. And we walked out around right here in that direction a little bit. And I said, I laid my hand around him. I said, son, I said, I want you to know that you're our son and we love you. Even though at that point his girlfriend that he hadn't married, his girlfriend was pregnant. And it had just come to real that we knew about it. He told us that was the first thing. And we had been in all trouble, about it. We didn't like any such as that. But we walked down here. I said, come, let's walk out here a little bit. So we walked out there, and I laid my hand around, and I said, son, I want you to know I love you. Don't you never forget that. I said, we love you. And help you whatever you need to be done. But they got married. They went ahead and got married. And I reckon their marriage was good. I'd say it was good. They got along fine. He's still in the Army. They bought a trailer and put it in just beyond Douglas's out there. Like the other house, it was between his house here and the other house over there. They bought a trailer put there to live. And I don't know how long they lived together before he died. I'd say at least a few months. He wanted a motorcycle so bad he couldn't understand it. And he got his refund, taxes refund. He went and bought one. On Friday, I believe it was. Tuesday following, he got killed on it. Another bike guy that was run a stop light. Didn't stop where they're supposed to. And just like that, he got jailed for a little while. He died. They put him in jail for a while. I don't know all the millions about all that. They was the boy that did it. His wife's kin fella. But anyway, all that stuff changed a little still. Back out of me, my wife died of cancer. Martha was she was about grown. I don't know if she's still in high school or not. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, that's about the age that my wife died. And backing up several years before she died, came home from work, Sears one evening. One of the first thing he mentioned, he says, Roger Hall, boy died unexpected with heart trouble. It says he left a young girl and a little boy. That's so terrible. And she just had compassion over the situation. She wanted to talk to me about it. So we talked about it, and she told me who it was, and I said, well, I can't quite place him. She said, well, you should. I said, you've seen him and all that. Well, anyway, we talked it out, and she explained who he was. I believe he was about 40 when he died. And so I listened to that, and sometime later she developed cancer and died. Several years, I'm not sure how many years separation was, but she died with cancer. And Martha hadn't got married at the time. He was still living in the house here, just me and her. And one day, it was on Sunday, he said, Daddy says, and I called, that girl called and tell you, that's her girlfriend. I wanted to tell you about a girlfriend. And I said, who was the guy that the girl that called? And all I know is just BC was the name. And I think she was maybe kin to you a little bit or something like that. I don't remember all about all that. Anyway, she wanted you to, she called and told me about it. And just wanted to tell you about her a little bit in case you might want to go see her or something. Okay. So a little bit, she said, let's get up and go see where she lived. Oh, they told her about where it was, so we went down there and rode the house, by the house, and seen the house on the road. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the coldest that it's been temperature here since. It was below zero. I think it was about 4 minus, I believe, and it just don't get that hot around here. But anyway, that was it, and I didn't say or do anything about it. And some few days, a few weeks, something like that, from I thought so happy I'd go and see the girl. So I did. And I think I told Martha what I was going to do. She knew it. But it turned out, Brenda and I, we finally got married. And life is outstanding. It's wonderful. And understandable in a lot of ways. And sometimes an angel get hold of you and try to show you something, get you straightened out of something. You believe in angels? There ain't no way in the world I can find out and be for certain about it. But I'm kind of thinking that my mother dated Brenda's daddy maybe once. It seemed like I remember hearing my daddy say something about the guy. Dated a little bit and getting Harvey Grant from who turned out to be my daddy. They were acquainted a little bit, and it seemed like my mother maybe dated him maybe once, twice. Maybe did or maybe didn't. I don't know. It just seemed like it was. Oh, I got to get out and get work.